Hey guys, so I wanted to quickly review and kind of do a little recap of the second episode of the second season of Star Wars Rebels. If you've seen my review of episode 1, you know that I really enjoyed it, but I thought that it definitely felt like it needed part 2 to really be complete, because they did kind of say to be continued at the end of episode 1. And from the previews we had seen of episode 2, it looked like it really was one story. And that's really my only complaint with Star Wars Rebels so far, is it's just not long enough, the 20 minutes or whatever it is with all the commercials, to tell the full story. Most stories that we've seen in Star Wars Rebels, some of them you could tell in the 20 minutes, but they really take 2 or 3 episodes. So that's my only complaint. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I freaking loved this episode, especially whenever you kind of combined episode 1 and 2 into one hour-long episode. It was just amazing. They wrapped everything up perfectly. We got to see Kanan kind of deal with his issues with the clones, and the clones were badass, especially Rex. Rex really shined this episode. The animation was amazing. There's a sandstorm with AT-ATs, and yes, I said AT-ATs, not AT-ATs. But we get to see 3 AT-ATs. We get to see the Clone Walker, and it's just, they're in a sandstorm, and it's just amazingly animated with the particle effects and everything that's going on there. But what I really enjoyed was the way that Kanan and Ezra both sort of are kind of rising to the challenge. They're sort of, you can see them both growing, whereas Ezra being a little bit younger, he's more accepting. You can tell throughout the episode he's really like, Kanan, why can't we just get along with these guys? I don't understand. But if you've read the Kanan comic, then you really kind of get a better sense of why he is so against clones. I mean, they killed his master, they tried to kill him, and it wasn't these clones, but still the clone army attacked him. And even if you haven't read Kanan comic, if you've seen episode 3, you know Order 66 is carried out by the clones. And if you've seen the Clone Wars, spoiler, so I'll give you a second to mute this or whatever, but in the Clone Wars we find out that there's actually a chip in the clones' heads that makes them where they have to execute Order 66. It's like a failsafe. So even if they are like good clones and they're like, no, I don't want to do that, I don't care what the Emperor says, I'm not buying it, the Jedi are bad guys, they will still have to do it because of the chip in their head. So you see Kanan struggling with that, and you see how Ezra is a little bit, because he didn't go through that, how he reacts to the clones. And I really just liked the banter back and forth there. I liked getting to see the new Inquisitor. He looks pretty badass, but I was kind of hoping that it was going to be Vader, because they said in the episode that it was going to be Vader that it was coming out of the ship. But yeah, overall it was just a great episode, and I love the very end whenever we get Ahsoka hugging Rex. You can definitely tell it's been a while since they've seen each other, and being a fan of the Clone Wars, that was awesome. But yeah, like if you haven't seen episode 1, obviously go watch episode 1, and then right after that, watch this episode. I almost would recommend that rather than watching one week and then another the next week, because they really go together as one story. It really is a two-part story. But I couldn't wait, so I had to watch it when they came out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.